With all due honor and praise to the Most High, we worship thee through the divine image of our wives. Amen. Welcome to the Horseman Law podcast. And we black at it. Yeah. So I'm excited. We got some announcements. We doing some things. I know it's been a while since I've been here, and we've been moving, expanding, and I appreciate it, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for everybody we've been working with. We did some things in South Africa, Johannesburg, put a team together out there rather quickly, and it was successful. It was a beautiful thing. So shout out to South Africa, Johannesburg, those brothers who did that work, that bit of work for me out there. I appreciate you. Salute. And we got a little outstanding balance, but I'm sure that'll get paid immediately, but it's all right. No, they're good people. So listen, all of my guys out there who are still working, who are lucky enough to be working, salute to yourself, man. Let's pour up a little drink for all of us who are out in the field, who are still getting it in, who are protecting clients every day, getting them back safe. Let's toast to that. Let's get a horseman toast to that. All my brothers in the field. So this one's for you. May you get back safely and continue to take care of your families. Salute. All right. That being said, let's get into it. We've missed a lot. A lot's happened while we've been gone, and we're going to chop it up, man. We're going to get into it a little bit. I want to go over DEON. I want to go over BRITNEY Griner, Kyrie, and the Nike deal. So let's jump into it, and let's start by, every week I come in here and I complain about the shoe booties. Seems like every time I come in here, I complain about the shoe booty Negroes. And, they did it again. They did it again. I'm a fan of DEON, so let me start there. I'm a fan of DEON. I'm a fan of what he did at JSU. I'm a fan of HBCUs, and I appreciate what he did. Now, let me preference this conversation by first saying you should research all the information before you give your opinion on something publicly. And I think we need to start practicing that in all things. In all things. As men, especially, we should never jump out the window based on a feeling, based on how you feel. All our commentary should be commentary based on facts, based on doing the personal research or seeking out those who do know the facts. So when I first heard about DEON taking the job in Colorado, I felt no way about it. And let me tell you why I felt no way about it. I felt no way about it because I understood, and those of us in business understand how difficult it is to work with each other. It is extremely difficult to work with our people. And it's not because we can't do the work. It's not because the work isn't excellent. It's hard to get the victim mentality out of our people when it comes to each other. It's hard to get the idea of there is no discount. You don't get a discount. I'm not showing you no love. None of that is business. You provide a service, you create a product, you sell that product, somebody buys that product, somebody uses that service, pays you for that service. This isn't racial. This is business. But for some reason, anytime we do business with each other, you have to take on not only the responsibility of that person's career or business or their success. You become responsible for that person's success by doing business with them. And that dynamic doesn't exist anywhere else. That dynamic does not exist in other cultures when it comes to them doing business, right? And I take offense to people who say, well, when you're dealing with your own people, you should be willing to be patient. And, it's difficult because the system is harder and people are. No. Those are excuses that we shouldn't allow ourselves, and we definitely shouldn't allow others to use those excuses against us. Doing good business is a requirement to keep good workers. If you want to keep good people employed with you, you must do good business. It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, mind you, Deion Sanders is, he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. He's a brand name. He's an icon in the sport of football. So the whole he's straight idea is sickening. I've never seen so many men count another man's money in my life. All of a sudden, all these Negroes understand the salaries, understand endorsements, understand every dollar that Deion Sanders brings in to him and his family. And he's supposed to be able to afford carrying a HBCU on his back forever. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. That's completely not only silly, it's not just silly, it makes you look stupid. Makes you look stupid. Never mind the bad business JSU did. Never mind them turning down business deals and endorsements because they were worried about how much money Deion was going to make. Never mind the fact that his family, his son was robbed, his stuff was robbed, cars being broken into, vandalism. Never mind any of that. He's supposed to endure bad treatment and bad business simply because it's a HBCU. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. This man not only gave up half his salary in order to build proper facilities for his players. He not only replaced the field twice, those of us who do know and follow JSU, he replaced the football field, he replaced the practice field, he replaced the field that they play the main games on. He created an environment at that school that did not exist before he came there. Equipment, top of the line gear, and the best in cleats and Under Armour. And I mean, come on, all of that. And here's the kicker. The man tried to set up institutions, and he tried to set up deals that he wouldn't have to be paid as much money as everybody else from JSU. All you had to do is do proper business so he could come in, take his cut and his percentage of the stuff of the money that he's bringing in. How do you argue with that? If you wasn't making $10 million a year, right, and I bring in $20 million a year, why are you concerned about me taking 10 million? Why would that bother you? No, they believed they were entitled to not only his salary, they were entitled to every deal he put together, his brand, his merchandise, his name, his likeness. And these Negroes out here expect him to deal with that and put up with that. Not only did he lose money for 3 years, not only did he donate as much money as possible, not only did he invest sweat, blood, his health, they turned around and offered him something that was more disrespectful than any other coach in regular Division I colleges or PWIs or whatever you want to call it. You offer a man not even half. You offer a man not even half of what he's bringing in. You offer a man $1 million and then say he's got to pay for his own staff. Come on, man. Come on. We got it. Come on. Come on. And we gotta start calling these people out because it's obvious. It's obvious to play. It's obvious these shoe booties get on TV, start talking about this, and they've been handed a script to read from. That's obvious. And we got to put a stop to that, man. I salute him at Colorado. I hope he succeeds. Okay, that's another thing too. Let's go back to that. That's another thing too. I've never seen any other culture, never seen it before, any other culture get on TV and say, I hope he fails. Speaking of a colleague, I've never seen it. Mind blown. I hope. There was Negro after Negro saying, I hope, I'm praying he fails at Colorado. Never seen that before. It's a shame. It's sad. It's disgusting, man. Shoe booties. It's kind of, my pet peeve. I can't stand them. It's hard to deal with them. I'm so disgusted with sports, man, because of these commentators and these pundits or whatever you want to call them. It's hard for me to watch games now. It's hard for me to watch games. It's hard for me to enjoy sports because they just roll out Negro after Negro who folds and apologizes and bends over and begs and pleads, and it's outrageous. It's outrageous. So I salute DEON. I hope you succeed. I hope you come out the gate with a winning record, and I hope you show everybody that there's nothing wrong with a black man being successful. There's nothing wrong with a black man taking opportunities as they come and forcing people to do good business. There's nothing wrong with it. We all should thrive to force people and leverage the people we do business with to do good business. Straight up. Okay, let's get into something else. Unpopular opinions, huh? Now, BRITNEY Griner. Let me start by saying I'm happy the sister's home. I'm happy she's back with her family. I'm happy she's back in the States. I'm happy for her. I salute her. I salute her wife and her family and all that good stuff. I think it's beautiful and all that. That being said, let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. And Let's start by doing this. How many of you saw the movie Lord of War? Everybody knows I'm a movie buff. I enjoy movies. I watch them often. And I actually enjoyed this movie called The Lord of War. Now, after seeing this movie, I couldn't believe it was a true story when it came out. I watched it, could not believe it was based on real events. So, I did a bit of research on Victor Vogt, The Lord of War. Come to find out, it's not only a true story. It's not only a true story. Come to find out that the movie version of the story is watered down. For those of you who have seen the movie, you understand that this man was an international arms dealer. And I'm not talking about pistols no, I'm talking about rockets. I'm talking about combat choppers. I'm talking about the man tried to sell nuclear weapons. Now, this is just look it up, Google it. Now, they'll spin it in the media like, oh, well, he was an international arms dealer, and, he's been in jail for several years, and his business and all that has been destroyed, and da-da-da-da-da. Bullshit. Bullshit. Victor Vogt was not only just an arms dealer. Excuse me, I'll find my lighter. He was not only an arms dealer. This man wasn't really not only just an arms dealer. This man funded wars. This man created conflicts, mostly in Africa. He literally would provide weapons to both sides of the conflict. So, you know how you watched, what's that terrible, terrible movie about child soldiers? Those weapons that those child soldiers were using against each other, using against their parents, and using against other children, those are weapons supplied by men like this. Ethnic cleansing. Say that again. Ethnic cleansings. You know who supplied those weapons? Men like this. Victor Vogt. Genocides on levels that are unimaginable. Murder and death on a scale that you can't really put a number to in Africa. Numbers that they can't verify today. Exactly how many people have died and been murdered in those conflicts. This is the man behind all that. Known terrorist. Plots against the U.S. That's this man. And we not only freed him, we turned him over or returned him to a country that we're currently in conflict with. So, make no mistake, two things can be true at once. Yes, happy she's home. Happy she's back in the States. And, I hope she continues with her career and becomes, all that she wants to become. But at the same time, there will be consequences and repercussions for this. And it will cost lives, American lives. It will, without a doubt, like without a doubt. So we have to be able to be honest about shit. You have to be able to tell the truth about it, because you have to be careful about symbolic gestures, and I get it. You got an election coming up. It's the whole Republican and Democrat and blase blah, Biden and la Kamala Harris, and you know the propaganda that will come from this will be deep. It will be deep. It will be she's an LGBTQ woman and women's rights and da 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 and blah 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 blah. Yeah. That's all coming. I get it. But none of this, none of us will benefit from this. There is no benefit here. It's a symbolic gesture. I hope people who do vote and people who do belong to political parties, I hope y'all continue to hold them to the fire and force them to make change and do some things that will benefit our community and, black people as a whole. I hope, most likely not, but hey, you know, I'm a firm believer. You should hold your vote unless you have something worth voting for. And if this situation with Brittney Griner sways you in one way or the other, um, that makes you a fool, in my opinion. That makes you silly. This isn't substance. This isn't, in the words of Tariq Nasheed, this isn't tangible. This is a symbolic gesture. And although, we're happy for her, we need something that we can taste, touch, smell, feel. It has to be something real in order for us to, unify around a candidate, as far as I'm concerned. Um, and speaking of that, I know everybody heard about this housing reparations bill in California. Now, how many of y'all really think y'all gonna get $233 something thousand dollars? But I will make sure. I'm just trying to figure out exactly who qualifies. California is right up the block, and I wouldn't doubt that something happens. If you're paying attention, you got San Francisco, you got the trans people there are going to be getting a living wage or something like that. That's supposed to be going down. So they getting ready to throw some money around. This is something, that happens over every voter period or whatever the fuck election cycle. They're getting ready to throw some money around. Get to it. Make something happen with it. I salute that as well. I'm a firm believer and supporter of reparations in any form. Yes, I would love to have money. Yes, I would love to have land and housing and this, that, and the other. I would love all that. But in my opinion, even if every black child went to college for free, I think that's something that should have been done 40 years ago. I don't understand how we have a congressional black caucus. We've had a female, a woman of color, or whatever the fuck you want to call her, whatever she wants to be called. She's been in office. You had Obama for 8 years, and I don't see how free college for every black child or descendant of enslaved Africans didn't end up getting those type of benefits. Um, but you know, politics is something else, and if you're waiting for them to do something for you, that makes you a fool as well. You know, go out and get it on your own, figure out a way, and listen. I'm not one of those people who don't understand the plight and don't understand about racism and this, that, and the other. I get it. I understand it. I've researched it. I've lived it. But if you think anybody has the power to keep you from your purpose, then you got the wrong purpose. So, you know, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you you know, staying true to yourself, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can make whatever you want happen if you understand your power. If you understand your true power, you can make whatever you want happen straight like that. You know, ain't nobody gonna keep you from it. Can't nobody keep you from doing it if you understand. But if you're walking around zombified, half dead, no knowledge of self, you know, it's easy for them. That's why they want to keep you in that state, in that fucked up state, so that you don't recognize your own power, your own strength and ability. You know, just a little something, something for you. Smoke this stogie a little bit. Other than that, you know, I was on the gram and you know, people send me stuff and send me stuff to look at. And Patti LaBelle got rushed off the stage for a bomb threat. Who the fuck is trying to blow up Patti LaBelle? That's crazy. I thought that was extremely interesting. Random act of violence. A lot of that going around. There's a lot of that going around. Take care of yourselves. Be careful. Be aware of your surroundings. Be uh, uh, vigilant. Who you with, where you at, who's around you, the comings and goings. You know, use your eyes, use your ears, and be careful. It's rough outside. I ain't gonna try to front. It's rough outside. It's hard outside right now. It's hard outside. People are hungry. It's the holidays. You know, people want to get gifts for their kids and gifts for their family. So, you know, people will take it. They can't make it. They will take it. Straight up. They will take it from you. Yeah. And to the victor goes the spoils. To the victor goes the spoils. Well, so let's talk about this too. I'm a fan of The Rock. I think Rock is a great action hero, right? And I read something talking about how they think it was a box office flop because he didn't make as much money as he thought he was going to make. Black Panther 2 came in, kind of cut the legs off from up under him. And there's a question of whether or not there should be a Black Adam 2. Listen, I have my issues with the movie historical portrayals of ancient Egypt and, you know, Kemetic people and what they look like and this, that, and the other. But that's neither here nor there. I watch movies and I analyze them for historical context and, facts and fiction. But for as basic action movie to enjoy, it was an excellent movie. It's right up there with everything else. I mean, let's face it. A lot of the shit that's been coming out has been bubblegum. It's been a whole lot of social commentary. They're kind of weaving in a bunch of shit that don't really belong. So there you go. But what I do take exception to, and I don't know how people feel about it. I think the idea of scaling up all the women characters in these movies, and for every hero there has to be a heroine, is ridiculous. Like it's becoming overt to the point where I think it's hard for boys to enjoy the movies. Now, me and my sons, we've always loved comic book movies. We've always watched, I raised them on Dragon Ball Z. I raised them on anime and things of that nature. And, you know, the idea of now they're taking stories and kind of flipping it on their heads. And, you know, I get the women characters being strong. I get the women characters being scaled up to kind of be able to, interact with the males. And yeah, but come on. The women kicking all the dudes' asses and all that shit. I mean, come on, man. Now you're kind of mixing the gender roles, and it's a bit much. We're doing a bit much now. Thor had the female Thor. Even though in the comic books that happens, but there's a story behind it, and there's a way they do it. Same thing with Black Panther. Yeah, sure, he takes the mantle, but there's a story behind that. There's a reason behind it, and she didn't overshadow the men in the comic books. Even when women did step up to carry the mantle or become powerful, they didn't overshadow their counterparts in the storyline. If they could do that in these movies without overshadowing, their male counterparts in the story, I think the movies would do better. I'm hoping that DC, with these new people taking over, will kind of, get back to that. Just get back to it. I understand Wonder Woman, and I understand, you know, these characters who have traditionally and have always been powerful. I get that. But the idea that you're just creating characters and just scaling them up to match every man in the story is ridiculous. For every strong man, there's a woman right next to him that's just as strong. That's unrealistic. And I think people are getting tired of it. I think people are getting bored with it. You know, the pendulum, everything is on a pendulum. So everything swings to the extremes on each side of the pendulum, right? So as far as we go left, it swings back right. As far as we go right, it swings back left. And I think we're going to start seeing that in society because we've swung so far into the left in these social issues and the virtue signaling. Because we've swung so far that way, it's going to swing back. And being a man will be in style. It's going to be the thing to do. But mark my words. Mark my words. All you shoe booty, feminine ass Negroes, do not start trying to be masculine man types We are going to destroy any of you Negroes, you fingernail polish wearing, skirt wearing, high heel boots, Christian Dior, Balenciaga wearing, all you Negroes. Do not come back this way trying to stand next to us. I promise you. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. The cats like me, Horsemen, all these brothers out here in the field that's been kicking ass and taking names for a long time. When we come back in style, you suckers stay right over there in your skirts and your fingernail polish. Don't come over here. I promise you, we're going to destroy you. I thought it was all sweet with the lollipop locks and the dyed hair and blah, 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 blah. You know, Wade prancing around and da 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 da. Stay over there. That's all I'm saying. No judgment. What you do is what you do. Just stay over there. When it's our time, now you want to come over here and act like you got on combat boots and swinging axes. Fuck out of here. Stay over there in your nail polish and your dresses. So, tonight's going to be short and sweet because, I'm hungry. And I've had a good time, man. I've had a good couple of weeks. And it's time to relax. Time to get a couple of days of relaxation and lay back, chill, hit the gym. So I'm hoping that for all of y'all, when y'all get back, take time for yourself, get some relaxation, get some time for yourself, get some time, alone, solitude, fortress of solitude. Every Superman needs a fortress of solitude. I'm building mine right now. And I cannot wait. Cannot wait till it's done. Yeah. Shout out to Rocks. I know you're out there working on my shit right now. Take your time. Do it right. Get it right. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I want to see. Boom. Make my vision a reality. Appreciate you. Here's to you. Love you. All right. So we'll close out like we do every night. With all due honor and praise to the Most High, I worship thee through the divine image of my wives. Amen.